Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to share with y'all how to engrave a photo using your CO2 laser and Lightburn software. So I have a Thunder Nova 51 130 watt machine. So my settings might look a little bit different than yours depending on what machine you have and what wattage you have and all that good stuff. But just know you can totally duplicate this and get great results if you just tweak your settings a little bit. And I'll share with y'all today kind of some things I did to trial and error, learning how to get good results with photo engraving. So I'm going to take you through the whole process. I'm going to show you how to upload it into your software. It's so easy, y'all. You just literally import the photo into your software, tweak a couple settings, send that baby to your machine, and let it do its magic and engrave a beautiful photo. Photos are great gifts for friends, family. They're great money makers if you are a small business owner. So it's just all around a great thing to be able to do with your laser machine. I knew when I got my laser that engraving photos was something I definitely wanted to do. So I did upgrade to a high definition lens. It's something that you can get in addition to your regular 2-inch lens that comes with your laser. So I upgraded to that to be able to compare and see the difference. So that is what I've been practicing with and using, but I thought it might be fun today to also be able to show you the difference and show you what the 2-inch lens can accomplish versus what the high definition lens can accomplish. So we'll be doing that today as well as just showing you the basics. So let's go ahead, head on out to the shop and get some beautiful puppy pictures made. All right, so I'm here in Lightburn as you see, and our images are uploaded. So the first step is to go to File and import your photo. And as you see, this is our photo that we have imported. Ignore these. These are the ones that you edit. So the first step is to import it, and as you see here, I did eliminate my background, and the reason being is because I want my image or my subject to pop. I want that to be the thing that you see when you engrave on the wood, but there are a lot of people that engrave backgrounds and things like that as well. I just, like I said, wanted a different look. So if you're wanting to do something like this, just go and remove the background. I use Photoshop. As you see, there's an image remover or a background remover that you can use on here, and then I just kind of fine tune the details on the side a little bit more. And yes, my pups were begging. I had a little treat in front of them, so that's their little begging faces. Leo really has mastered it, but I had to get a cute picture for today's project, so I had to do it. But that's all I did was just remove the background, went back into Lightburn, and imported this photo. And it's going to always import in black and white. If you tried to engrave it looking just like this, it is definitely not going to show up the details as great as it will when you edit them. So it is important to kind of update that sharpness and kind of fine tune the contrast and the brightness and different things like that that show up those details that you want to show up greater. So it is, I have noticed, it definitely is important. If you don't want to mess with all of this, there is free things online that you can use to do the work for you. This imagr.com, and it does the work for you. But as you see here, it kind of mutes a lot of the details. It does a great job. It makes kind of a cartoonish effect. But I did engrave this, and I noticed a lot of Jack's details were missing, like his little white around hit the top of his eyes and just different things like that. And I want it to look more like Jack. So doing it yourself, it does kind of show up those details a little bit more than it would with the other third-party software. So the next thing you're going to want to do is click your photo, and you're going to go to the Shape Properties tab. Now, this isn't always there. I did have to go to Window and add it to my toolbar. So just know if it's not there, it's on your Window tool, and it will be there, don't worry. And you're going to want to update some of these shape properties. So Robert on Computer Creations, I swear I learned a lot of my stuff from him. He's great. He has a great video on understanding these numbers and how they do affect your engrave. So you're going to want to update this depending on every picture. As you see here, Leo and Jack have different settings because they have different coloring. So this is important to kind of play around with to get good results. And the more I've done this a couple times now, I see it's a little bit easier to kind of fine tune those details depending on the picture and depending on the colors and all that. So that's what we did for Jack. We updated his gamma to 0.800, contrast -16. Leo had contrast. He had a contrast of 7. So as you see here, they're just a little bit different. Brightness is 11, and this radius amount, and enhance and amount, this is basically sharpness. So it's 20 and 200 on Jack and 25 and 200 on Leo. So those are the settings that we chose for them. But like I said, it's going to vary. It's going to be different depending on your photo. But just play around with it. Have a scrap piece of wood and kind of get to know your machine. Get to know all of these settings, and you'll kind of get a good grip on it after that. So once you've gotten these the way that you're ready for, you're gonna go over to your cuts and layers panel and you're gonna double click this. So what this is your speed, your power, all that. Now this, I have a Nova 51 130 watt machine. So just know that my settings are going to be probably different than your machine. All machines are different. So I did have to kind of play around with this to get something that I'm happy with. And mine, I chose a speed of 300, a power of 20, min power of 20. Over here for this line interval, I did 0.080, which is 318 dpi, and then fill shapes individually. And right here, I chose Jarvis as the image mode, but there is a lot of different image modes, and it'll tell you if you choose like Stucky or Stucky, however it is, it'll tell you what that one is like. They have a newsprint that's kind of like a cartoon. But my favorite that I've noticed is this Jarvis. It's almost kind of realistic looking and it has good quality engraves. So that is what I chose for that. And that's really all we're going to do here with settings. So that's what you do here. You click OK. And we are basically ready to go. Air needs to be off. Now, it'll always use a little bit of air assist if you have your air nozzle on just slightly. So my air nozzle is slightly on and my air assist is off on Lightburn, but it will still use a tiny bit of air. But you want less air with engraves for, the best quality, so you don't have a bunch of air just blowing, stuff all over the place. So this part's ready to go. Next, you're gonna put your wood into your laser and you're gonna size these down to the size that you want, and we're gonna go ahead and fire our laser up. So this is the Thunder high resolution lens. It is set at a focal length of about 3 to 3.5 millimeters away from your board here. If you're using a different lens, you're gonna wanna adjust as necessary. So like for the 2-inch lens, you do a focal length of like 6 to 7 when you're engraving, but with this one, you do a focal length of, like I said, 3 to 3.5. So it's all set up, it's ready to go, everything's plugged in. We have our birch here, this is a scrap piece, and we're gonna go ahead and engrave our photos, but everything is set up and ready to go. I had to take a pit stop real quick. If you are engraving a photo, especially on low air, you're gonna wanna stop and just make sure your lens is clean because it can gunk up a little bit faster when you have low air. That's on every single laser machine. So just after it does a long period of engrave time, just check your lens, wipe off if there's any excess buildup, just so you don't have anything go on. But that's what I do after each time it's engraving for a long period of time. are attempting to engrave using the regular 2-inch head, and I have it a little bit defocused at about 7 millimeters. So we're gonna go ahead and send the exact same file, but I'm doing it a little bit smaller so it won't take so long. But I'm gonna go ahead and send that to the laser now. Alright, so that was so much fun. Here is how the signs turned out. Just look at the detail of these signs. I cannot get over it. Like, I was doing a bunch of practice ones the last few days, and they were just small little examples, and I didn't really see the detail until I looked up close and I sanded them. Blown away. Blown away. So this was what the standard head looked like. As you see here, it's definitely just a lower resolution. I might need to play around with settings. I'm sure there's a way to get it even better looking than this, but as you see here, if you're wanting something, if you think you'll ever do photos 1,000 times, yes, get the high definition lens, because you can just see the difference in the quality and just like the resolution. It just looks so good. But like I said, you can accomplish it with your 2-inch, your regular standard head. I use mine literally all day, every day. Do cuts, engraving, letters, all kinds of things with that head. But like I said, if you're gonna do photos, totally upgrade to the high definition camera or lens. So that was so much fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it or learn something, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Lots coming, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.